Hello, my name is Caldron. This is a brief video on Triglavian loot, the stuff you get from the new Abyssal sites. This is the result of running 3 sites. I've actually run 5, blown up in 2 of them, but those were both level 4, and I'm kind of feeling my way towards running those, but I do feel like the level 1, 2 and 3 sites are pretty much on farm for me in my healer. So this is what I got from 3 sites. I got a Leshak blueprint. The Leshak is the new battleship. I think it's quite a nice ship. I think people would be interested in flying it. It looks amazing. It functions in a weird way, but if you can make the most out of it, it's the hardest hitting battleship in the game. So people want to try and make that work. The next 7 things are various type of keys. You can buy these off the market. They drop in the site. They allow you to open up new sites. The first keyword is the environment. So agitated dark or agitated gamma. It tells you at the end of the first paragraph. Those both send you into a field of dark matter that will reduce weapon ranges but enhance ship velocity. I'm still kind of making up my mind which one is the best one to do. I wouldn't run a site just because you found the key. If I were you, I'd strategize which is the best type of environment to do it in and only run those, because I think these will be pretty cheap. Okay. The next things, these decayed, gravid and unstable things. These are various types of mutaplasmid. So this decayed small energy mutaplasmid, it can be used with various types of small newt. Looks like pretty much any small newt in the game. And this is what it does. All these mutaplasmids give various ranges of what they do to things and make them maybe slightly better, maybe slightly worse. My feeling is that there's a specific stat or two on each module that really matters. Like, if you can get this small newt, if you can get it to newt more at longer range, I don't think people are going too fussed about CPU usage and power grid usage. That's just gravy and activation cost. I mean, it's nice if you get a green result on those, but if you get a red result but you've got green on the 2 that really matter, then I think you've got a good newt. If on the other hand it newts less or it's shorter range, it's probably for the scrapbook it'd be like worse than whatever you started with. If you did start with something very expensive like an officer newt and you made it worse, well, it's probably about as valuable as a Dead Space newt or something. It'll be, at the end of the day, it's the stats that matter. Something that newts, I don't know, 50 gigajoules a second, whatever it is, whether it started out as a green thing, a blue thing, or a purple thing. It doesn't matter, it's like... So let's look at the best one. This is 7 km range and newts 55 gigajoules. So, if you put 10% on that amount, that'll be another 5.5. It'll newt 60.5 gigajoules. And going back to my mutaplasmid, I can see the amount of optimal range I can get is 20%. It was 7k, wasn't it? So putting 20% on that will take it up to 8.4k, which would be a really nasty newt. It can be anywhere along that range, so you can get one that's like 7.5 or 8 or 8.4, and it can be worse as well, so it might be a bit worse. So if you want to buy an expensive newt and gamble on one of these mutaplasmids, then who knows? I'm on the test server at the moment, so I can only do Tech 2 stuff. Let's show you the mutaplasmids in action. Best newt here is a small engine neutralizer 2. Right click this, use decayed thingy, put your newt in. Didn't we just buy it? Yeah, we did. Couldn't see it for a moment. Okay, so we could get better or worse on any of these 5 categories. Let's put a few tentacles on this neutralizer. Ooh, that looks good. Ooh, that looks bad. Ooh, that looks good. Ooh, that looks bad. Okay, so it's only got 4,700 optimal, which is terrible. But it does newt 58 instead of 55. That newts up with the Dead Space one. That's a really hard-hitting newt. If you want to maybe put it on a blaster frigate or something, that could be a really nasty one. It's less to activate as well, which is also really good. Neutralising is all about energy efficiency. You see it's got this little symbol, so unlike Tech 2, which is kind of gold, and Dead Space, which is blue, and Officer, which is purple, it's got this rather nice new red thing with a little white triangle in. Oh, it offered me to continue, but I've run out of mutaplasmid. Oh, okay, so if you had a stack of mutaplasmids and a stack of newts, you could do loads. Okay, so is that worth more than the Tech 2 newt I started with? I think probably it is. I think you could sell that to people as this is a better newt for your Blaster Merlin or whatever, Blaster Incursus, than the basic Tech 2 one. Not worth a lot, but hey, obviously if you make an officer module that costs 50 billion ISK, like 10 times better, you're going to be laughing. So I've got a newt here for a medium newt and one for a 50mn micro warp drive. Unstable means it gets bigger numbers. So if we look at the attributes on this, velocity bonus is minus 10 to 10, activation cost minus 40 to 40, CPU usage, it can be 50% worse or 20% better, anywhere in that range. So I've noticed particularly on the CPU and power grid, they often seem to be tilted towards making it worse, which makes sense because you're kind of gambling towards making it better, with things like making your ship go faster. A micro warp drive, I would say pretty much max velocity bonus is the stat that matters. So if you get a green on that, I think people will forgive bad stats on the others. Okay, next up are these Triglavian survey thingies. No clue what they do. It says full recovery and deciphering of the data requires specialist skills and equipment, and that's about all it says. Doesn't tell you what they do. The next two, these are very common in the sites, you get them all the time. They're for making ships and ammo. On a nice new industry tab, it's got all the new ships and the new ammo and Tech 2 ammo, and they all use quantities of this stuff, so that's where you get it from if you're an industrialist, and that's who you sell it to if you're running these sites. And last but not least, we found a gun. This is the new disintegrator. It's a light scoped disintegrator used with small ammo, so it's a frigate sized weapon. It's a meta gun, probably a bit worse than a Tech 2 and a bit better than a Tech 1. So that's what I found in my run. So that's 3 runs, and you see I got quite a lot of loot there. So this stuff is going to start out quite expensive, but I think it's going to come down quite quickly, particularly like the blueprints. I mean, if I can get a Leshak blueprint in 3 runs, people are going to be running this 24/7. Sites only take 20 minutes. The market's going to be really flooded with those blueprints, so I don't think the blueprints are going to cost you any money, unless you can rush to G2 with it in the first hour and put it on the market for 1 billion ISK or 10 billion ISK or whatever, and someone's desperate to get them into production. So there's always that patch day nonsense where people get these going really quickly. So good luck to anyone doing that. And that's it. Happy hunting.